That guy terrorized southern Kaduna for 8 years.
Femi, Fani, Kayode has exposed El-Rufai of his atrocities when he was the governor of Kaduna State. He exposed everything he did against the Christians and how it landed him into trouble. Watch this video.
That guy terrorized southern Kaduna for 8 years. He terrorized Christians for 8 years. A man that I thought, and many of us believed, was friends of those of us that are Christians. Christians were killed. Christians were slaughtered. Christian communities were denied their allocation and denied development. And Christian leaders were insulted behind closed doors. And we opposed him. And we kept saying we must not fight, no violence, but pray. And God heard our prayers. How? He brought in somebody that was extremely close to him, who I know very well. That's Sani. And I have known Uba, honestly, we're very, very close. But one thing I knew about Uba is that he is a fair-minded person. And when it comes to issues of faith, I can say it anywhere, anytime, any day, that he has no discriminatory tendencies at all. And one day Uba called me. He was his special advisor. He said, Femi, why are you doing that? I said, listen, Uba, you know me. When I say I'll fight to the bitter. Unless they kill me, I will fight. He said, please, don't worry. Things will change. Don't worry. And we prayed. Eventually Uba came in. And what happened? They started fighting. And one day I called Uba. I said, listen, why are you doing this to Nasser El-Rufai? He's out of power. You're in power now. You're being fair to Christians. You've balanced the equation. You're doing the right things. I'm very proud of you. And he looked at me, he said, Femi, you have no idea the sort of things that guy had in mind for members of the Christian faith and also even for Muslims in his state. He said, you have no idea. He said, you were not there when we would have cabinet meetings. And Bantext, who I believe was his deputy governor, he would insult him for his faith. Insult Bantext, insult Christians openly there. He said, Femi, you know, we have to put up with it. But all of us will leave the room. Sometimes we will cry that how can this man be so wicked? There are so many things that he told me. But I'll just leave it at that. And why am I saying this? That a monster, and when I say monster, I mean what I say. A man that hates believers, that seeks to destroy and kill believers and wipe out our faith, was in power for 8 good years. God was just watching him. Then God brought his right-hand man to come in, set everything right, make everything fair, bring in the believers, and also teach him the lesson of his life. Is that not the power of God? Is that not a consequence of prayer? For him to say what he said, called us infidels, said that we should leave the country, and so on and so forth. All the other things he said. Well, let me tell you this. The first shocker he got was that he got more opposition from the Muslims themselves than the Christians. From morning till night, he was getting insults from his own Muslim brothers, which tells you a lot. That they realize that no way, this is unacceptable and this is wrong. And I have many, many Muslim friends. I'm very close to them. And I'll tell you what, sincerely, many of them called me and said, listen, we're really sorry about this. I said, listen, you may be sorry, you may not be sorry. He said it too. I will speak out. Because if I don't, then you call me a bastard. Because I was the only person in the APC, my party, that spoke out against gingery. And when I did so, on my Facebook post alone, I did 2 posts, generated over 6 million views in the space of 2 days, supporting what I said. And I sent the signal. You see, there's something that comes before politics, comes before anything. I'm sorry, comes before family, comes before nation, comes before politics, comes before anything. And that is God. Because it is God that gives you everything else. If you cannot stand for your faith, if you cannot stand by your people, if you cannot stand by believers when you are wronged, then you are nothing before God.